Hello, 6th standard CBSE children. Have a good day. Have a nice day. I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to our video session. And today's video number is 13, Chapter 8, Body Movements, Part 1. Today we are going to do video number 13, Chapter 8, Body Movements. Body movements, okay, as part 1. Now, what are the body movements you know? Can we say? We are moving from place to place, yeah. We are moving our hands, we are moving our leg, we are jumping, we are walking, is it not? So, these are all actions carried out by us. How is it possible? This is possible as we move our hands up or down, wherever we want. We walk from place to place. We jump, we skip, we run. Is it not? So these are all different actions that body movement shows. I hope you are understanding. Now, this body movements, for example, we say for example, see this animal, this is frog, you can identify, right? This is fish, this one butterfly, this is caterpillar. Caterpillar is what? Young one of butterfly, yeah. Life cycle of butterfly we have studied in lower classes, 5th I remember if I am right. So now, how do these frogs move? We say frog jumps or frog hops, H-O-P-S. Then fish will swim in water. Fish will swim in water. Then butterfly flying. And then caterpillar will creep or crawl on the leaves. I hope you understand. You can recollect this. I can identify this. Is it not? So these are small animals or different animals showing different movements. Right? Now these movements in animals, we say it is as animals, they are classified into invertebrates and vertebrates. Animals are classified into invertebrates and vertebrates. And these invertebrates, they are without backbone. That is, they are without backbone, and vertebrates are with backbone. Vertebrates are with backbone. With the backbone. I hope you understand. So this is the major difference. Animals can move from place to place alone, but still the animals, they show movement with the more differences. Right? So now this movement in animals, we say they move for what purpose? The purpose of moving is to get food. They move in search of food, and then they move to escape from enemies. And then they move for shelter. So animals move from place to place in search of food, to escape from enemies, or we say predators. We use the term predators, and then in search of shelter. Some animals will move to one place as a migration, migrating birds. And some animal, based on the climate, they move and build their nest. Birds will build their nest. Now we come across a term locomotion and movement. we come across a term locomotion and movement. What do we know? We come across a term locomotion and movement. What do you understand? Locomotion is the movement of animals from place to place. I repeat, locomotion is the movement of animals from place to place in search of food, to escape from enemies or predators. Predators na the food animal kullu very animals la. To escape from predators and in search of food. Shelter. Okay? So these are all for locomotion. Right? Whereas movement is the movement in body parts only. Movement of body parts in their arrangement. Okay? So animals move their body parts for various actions. As I said, human will move their hand up, down, jump, walk. Idella actions. Movement will show actions. Movement will show actions. Okay? So first body movements. Otherwise we say movement in animals as chapter 8 video number 13. Okay? Now we say locomotion is the movement of animals in search of food, in search of shelter, and then for escaping from enemies or predators, or maybe due to climatic condition they move from place to place. That is locomotion, right? Whereas movement is movement of body parts. Movement of body parts. That is movement in animals. I hope you understand. So the way the animals move, it is called the gait of animals. Gait in a movement. Gait is the way of animals that they move. That is gait of animals. I hope you understand. So we come across another term. The way animal move is called gait. Then based on that, the presence or absence of backbone affects the gait of an animal. The presence or absence of backbone decides the gait of the animal. That is movement of the animal. I hope you follow. So we come across a term locomotion, movement, invertebrates, vertebrates, backbone, and gait. So this is first we say locomotion. I hope you understand. So we say locomotion is the movement of an organism. Locomotion is the movement of an organism from one place to another. Locomotion is the movement of an organism from one place to another. Most of the animals move from place to place or from one place to another, and it is necessary for the following reasons. To search for food, to move away from danger and enemies or predators, to find suitable places to build nest and bring up young ones. Right? So these are the reasons why animals move from place to place. Right? And locomotion is the result of interaction and coordination between skeletal system and muscular system. Right? So locomotion is the coordinating system between interaction and coordination of two systems in human as skeletal system and muscular system. I hope you are listening. Then the skeletal system is different in different animal, as we say presence or absence of backbone. I hope you follow. Now the same way locomotion in plants. Locomotion in plants, that is showing only movement. Locomotion in plants show only movement. That is, plants do not move from place to place. Plants do not move from place to place. But at the same time, they show movement of their stem. They show movement of their stem, leaves, branches, on the parts of the plant children. Yeah? And then flower bud, opening of flower bud. Flower bud opens. Flower bud opens. That is movement in plants. Okay? So flower bud opens. One minute. Clear plants. One minute. Flower bud opens. Yeah? Here movement in plants. Plants will not move from place to place. So we don't use the term locomotion. At the same time, plants will show movement. That is, they move their stem, leaves, branches, and flower bud opens. Right? And these movements in plants, they are as tropic movement. Plants show movement as tropic movement and nastic movement. Plant will show movement as tropic movement and nastic movement. Okay? Tropic movement is in search of, that is, plants grow towards gravity. Plants grow towards gravity, towards light, towards water, towards chemicals. Towards water, towards chemical. And then when we touch, that is techno. So we say tropism as towards gravity, that is towards the soil, it is geotropism. Towards light, it is phototropism. Towards water, hydrotropism. Towards chemical, it is chemotropism. And towards touch, it is stigmotropism. I hope you are listening. For the second, go through. Can you? So movement in plants, there is no locomotion as such. Same time, plants will show movements. Normally, there are two types of movements as tropic movement and nastic movement. Tropic movements, plants, when they move towards the gravity, response to children, towards gravity, that is called geotropism. When they move towards light, it is phototropism. And when they move towards water, it is hydrotropism. And when they move towards chemicals, stimulation of chemical, that is chemotropism. And when they touch, response to stimuli, that is stigmotropism. I hope you are listening. Now when a plant grows, we say plant grows, is it not? So when the plant grows, the root system is growing towards the soil and the shoot system is growing towards the light. Yeah. So the root system, when it grows towards the soil, it is geotropism. Same way, when the shoot system, stem and above, leaf, stem, its branches and leaf grow towards the light, it is phototropism. And some plants grow in water, that shows hydrotropism. And some part of the plant, they show response to chemicals. Typical pollen grain. Pollen grain, during fertilization, this pollen will start growing due to chemicals present on the tip of the stigma. Now, getting to know lesson, getting to know plants on the lesson, flower structure, and then fruit formation we have learned. I hope you remember that. Huh? So, the stigma, when the pollen is reaching, then it will start growing, for fusing, for fertilization, and that is in response to chemicals. That is called chemotropism. Sometimes when we touch the plant, touch me not plant, to touch and the leaf on the fold pannikkum, that is stigmotropism. So we say movement in plants as geotropism, phototropism, hydrotropism, chemotropism and stigmotropism. Go through panna. For a second, go through panna. Can you? So this is for plants, tropic movement. Now it is only, we say it is directional movement. Tropic movement is directional movement. Only towards one direction. Towards the soil, towards the light, towards the water, pollen gain chemical, and the mari. Directional movement, that is tropic movement. Whereas nastic movement, it is non-directional. Nastic movement, it is non-directional. Where we say this nastic movement, again we come across photonasty, thermonasty, and stigmonasty. We come across photonasty, sunflower, surigadi. அது வந்து சூரியன் வர சூரியகாந்தி செடி இந்த மொட்டுலேருந்து சூரியன் வர அந்த கிழக்கு பக்கமாக விரிச்சு பெருசாகிடும் இல்லையா, தட் இஸ் ஃபோட்டோநாஸ்டி. அது எந்த டைரக்ஷனில் அந்த டுவர்ஸ் சூரியன் வருது அது ஃபோட்டோநாஸ்டி. சிலது வந்து டியூ டு கெமிக்கல் லைட் ஹீட்டு சொல்கிறது தெர்மோநாஸ்டினா ஹீட்டு, டியூ டு ஹை டெம்பரேச்சர் it is moving, that is thermonasty. And stigmonasty, again touch me not plant mari, this is when it is touched, response to stimuli cellula, that is one of the characteristic feature of living things, that is stigmonasty. Okay, so that is for plant movement. I hope you understand. So we say tropic movement and nastic movement. Tropic movement, it is directional. Nastic is non-directional. I hope you understand. Go through the second. Just one spelling word. Spelling word. photonasty, thermonasty, tigmonasty. Can you? So we say tropic movement, we say it is tropism, and nastic movement, it is nastic movement. Nasty. This is geotropism, phototropism, hydrotropism, chemotropism, tigmotropism. This is photonasty, thermonasty, tigmonasty. I hope you understand. So this is for plant movements. Right? Now when I come to animal, we say it is animals move from place to place alone. Yeah. That animal movement, 1 minute. So that animal movement, we say it is in coordination with the skeletal system and muscular system. It is the interaction or coordination between skeletal system and muscular system. I hope you follow this. So this is especially in human, this movement is taking place. I hope you follow. Can you? So in human, it is the interaction of skeletal and muscular system. They both coordinate for the body movements that we are going to do today. Okay? And the skeletal system, it is as two major skeletal system, axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeletal system and appendicular skeletal system. Okay. Now this axial skeleton includes skull or cranium or brain box. It is called a skull or cranium or brain box. Okay. Then second one, it is rib cage. Second one is rib cage, and third one is vertebral column. Third one is vertebral column. I hope you understand. There are two major divisions of skeletal system in man as axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Sure. Now this axial skeleton includes skull or cranium or brain box and rib cage, and third one vertebral column. I hope you are listening. Just go through the spelling. Go through the spelling. Skull or cranium. Cranium spelling cranium. Cranium, brain box, rib cage, vertebral column. I hope you follow. Okay? So this is for axial skeleton. Just go through. Whereas appendicular, it is pectoral girdle, and bones of the upper limb. Pectoral girdle and bones of the upper limb. Second one, it is pelvic girdle and bones of the lower limb. Pelvic girdle and bones of the lower limb. Spelling pardon. Go through. Just go through. I say appendicular skeleton, pectoral girdle, bones of the upper leg, and pelvic girdle, bones of the pelvic girdle and bones of the lower leg. Just to follow, go through the spelling. We'll just continue. Just will continue. Hello, we'll just continue. Now this axial skeleton, we are first talking about the skull. First we will learn about the skull. Okay. Now we say skull, it is also known as cranium. Skull is also known as cranium or brain box. I am just reminding you, we are learning body movements, video 13, chapter 8, part 1. Right? And we are learning about locomotion and movement. And locomotion is occurring in animals. And we are learning about locomotion in human, man. Right? Now this locomotion in man is taking place with the interaction of two systems. One is skeletal system, another one is muscular system. Coordination of these two activities. Now this skeletal system, where we are going to learn in detail, as skeletal system in man is broadly classified into axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Now this axial skeleton, it is as 3 subdivisions. One is skull or cranium or brain box. Second one, ribcage, and third one is the vertebral column. Vertebral column are also known as backbone. I hope you recollect now. Now the skull, it is as cranium or brain box, where brain is enclosed within the skull. Brain is enclosed within the skull. Now the skull is formed of totally 22 bones as 14 plus 8 bones. Now these 14 bones are facial bones. And these are the skull bones. I hope you are learning. For skull, it is formed of 22 bones, where 14 bones are facial bones and 8 bones are skull bones. Right? And before that, in human, there are 206 bones. In human, there are 206 bones present. In that, skull is 22 bones. Right? But actually, in infants or newborn, at the time of development of the fetus, there are more than 300 bones. But as the development of the baby occurs, as the child grows, some of the bones are getting fused, and an adult will have 206 bones. I hope you are listening. So this is as skull bone. 1 minute. This is as skull bone, where this skull bone, just a minute. Brain. Okay. Right? Now this skull bone, it is as frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital. The skull bones are frontal in the forehead portion, that is. Skull bones are frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital. Okay, frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital bones. I hope you follow. Right? Whereas facial bones, there are 14 facial bones. என்னெல்லாம்? The forehead portion, 2 nasal, 2 eye orbit, 2 cheekbone, 2 ear. I hope you are following. And then upper and lower jaw. These bones. Okay, so upper and lower jaw, then 2 nasal bone, 2 eye orbit, eye bone, and then the cheekbone, and then ear bone. Right? So this 14 facial bones. And then in the skull, this lower jaw, it is movable. Lower jaw alone is, sorry, spelling mathematics. This lower jaw is movable. Lower jaw is movable and others are immovable. And then we come across these frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital. They are united to each other, joined to each other with the help of a structure called sutures. நீ ஸ்கல்லு நம்ம இப்போ நான் லாக்டவுன்னால இப்போ என்கிட்ட இல்லை, இருந்தாலும் பிக்சர் காட்டுறேன். சரியா? அதில் வந்து நம்ம ஸ்கல்லில் மைண்ட் அப்படி லைனாக இருக்கும். ஒரு நிமிஷம் இருக்கிறேன். Can you see? Skull bone. இது வந்து facial, frontal, parietal, temporal, parietal, occipital. Occipital வந்து சைடில் இந்த லைன் தெரியுதா, இந்த கோடு, அதுதான் sutures in the skull. I hope you follow. அதுதான் sutures in the skull. Right? And then this skeletal system, again it is formed of different size and shape of the bones, as they may be long bone, short bone, flat bone, round bone, then irregular bone, regular bones. What does it mean? நம்ம hand legல long bone, சரியா? skull வந்து flat bone, cheekல வந்து flat bone, whereas wristல வந்து irregular bone. The palm சொல்றோம்ல, இதுல வந்து short bones. Okay, so bones in man, it may be long, short, regular, irregular, and flat bones. I hope you followed. So these are different size of the bones. Are you clear? So we say facial bone, there are 14 bones. 14 bones. 14 bones as facial bone and 8 bones as skull bone. I hope you understand. This is for skull and brain bones. Right? Now this skeletal system or the functions of the skeleton நம்ம கடைசியில படிப்போம், இதெல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டோம். Right? The next one is the rib cage. One more I have to say. We are talking as bones. Before I go to ribs, we say bones. Yeah? Now this bone, it is a solid substance formed of bone marrow. Bone is a solid substance formed of bone marrow. Okay? Now bone is a solid substance formed of bone marrow. Now these bones are made up of bone cells. Bone is a connective tissue. Normally we say bone is a connective tissue where this it is joined to each other to form a full skeletal system, and it is a connective tissue coming under the subheading supportive connective tissue. I hope you understand. So we say in the human skeletal system is inside the body. Now bones are made of bone cells, protein and minerals such as calcium. Protein and minerals such as calcium. Right? Now the outer layer of the bone is very hard, and bone marrow is a soft spongy substance found in the inner part of the bone. I repeat, bone marrow is the soft spongy tissue found at the inner part of the bone. Now blood vessels are found here, and this is the place where blood cells are formed. Right? Bones are made of living tissues and can repair themselves if broken. Bone cells are normally living tissues and can repair themselves if they get broken. What does it mean? நமக்கு fracture ஆகலையா, கீழே விழுந்து கை கால் ஒடிஞ்சதுன்னா fracture ஆகலையா, அப்போ we just have the மாவு கட்டை சொல்லுவோம்ல, அது போட்டுக்கிறோம் bandage, and that will allow the bone to set by themselves. Right? So that settling is normally takes 4 to 6 weeks. So bone can repair by themselves. If anything is broken, it can repair by itself. And then a baby is born with around 300 bones, but as the baby grows into an adult, some bones fuse together, so an adult will have 206 bones. I hope you follow. So this is another okay. So I say bone is formed of a spongy tissue, bone marrow, and then it is made up of, or it is rich in the mineral calcium. It is rich in mineral calcium, and it is also having protein. Now this bone marrow is the seed for the production of RBC and WBC, or platelets. Okay, blood cells which go. RBC, it is red blood corpuscles, and WBC, it is white blood corpuscles, and blood platelets. Blood platelets. So bone marrow is the site for producing, or we say bone marrow produces RBC, WBC, blood platelets. I hope you follow. So this is for bone structure. Now we say in human, the skeletal system is formed of bones alone. Yeah. But all the bones normally they are very hard and rigid. But in some places, in some body parts, it is called cartilage. The bone, it is called cartilage. Now this cartilage is it's a soft tissue. We say cartilage is a kind of tissue found at the ends of the bones. Normally, this nose tip, they are not very hard. Pinna of the ear, and then tip of this. Yeah. So they are not very hard. So we say cartilage is a kind of tissue that is found at the ends of the bones in the joint. At the joint, right? And between vertebrae in the spine. between the vertebral column. It also forms part of the nose and pinna of the ear. And cartilage is softer than bone and can bend. வளைக்க முடியும், இதையும் வளைக்க முடியும். Whereas கையில் உள்ள bone வளைக்க முடியாது. The cartilage is found in the joints and helps to cushion the joints. I say cartilage is found in the joints that helps to cushion the joints. Cushion adhu mari supportive I hope you follow. So this is for bones and cartilage. Now the skeletal system சொல்லும்போது இது சொல்லிருக்காங்க. அப்புறம் axis. I hope you understand. So now come back to skull. In human, the skeletal system consists of bones and cartilage, and in the bones in human body are arranged in a framework that forms the skeleton, and it gives definite shape to the body. Now see this figure, skeletal system. First skull, ribcage, backbone, and then here are the bones of the upper and lower limb. And sonella, skull is formed of axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Sonella, two major division, axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Sonella, so adula axial skeleton and the skull, ribcage, vertebral column, ada backbone. Then appendicular skeleton, bones of the upper limb, bones of the lower limb. I hope you follow. So now this bones is forming a full framework of the body skeleton. Then bones are the hard parts of the skeleton and cartilage is the soft part of the skeleton. And what are sutures I say? And the bones of the skull, they are joined to each other. That is called suture. Right? And they are immovable. Okay? So when the two bones meet, that place is called a joint. When two bones meet, that place is called joint. And this joint, some of them will show movement. They are movable joint. Others will not. They are immovable joint. So here skull is a immovable joint except the lower jaw. Except the lower jaw. Now there are bones in almost every part of our body, and there are 206 bones. The main bone in the skeleton includes skull, backbone, ribcage, girdle, sonella, pectoral and pelvic girdle, and bones of the upper and lower limb. I hope you are listening. Skull is a bony structure present in the head. The upper part of the skull made up of 8 bones in the head region that are completely fused and immovable. Whereas face and the jaw together contain 14 bones. Upper jaw is immovable, whereas lower jaw is movable. And then the teeth are fixed to the jawbone. The teeth are fixed to the jawbone. I hope you understand. So this is for skeletal system. Right? So far we have started the lesson where we have learnt about locomotion and movement, and then movement in plants. Then about this axial skeleton, we have started structure of skull. We will continue in the next video session. Go through the lesson. Have a good day. Thank you.